Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Living on Blockchain. Today, we are speaking to Karen. Karen is the CMO of Fiat24. Fiat24 is a Swiss fintech company licensed by FINMA, which is the Swiss financial regulator. She brings a wealth of experience in marketing, design, content creation, because she's a podcaster and a content creator as well. She's leveraged her background in Web2 advertising and content marketing to get so far here in her journey. Fiat24 as a platform is a company that is focused on extending crypto wallets with accounts and payment services, enabling users to really manage both crypto as well as their fiat assets seamlessly. So this was, again, I'm very lucky. This is another very, very interesting conversation with her. It's always very exciting to speak to fellow women in the space and also women who are so passionate about what they are building. So that really comes through in this particular conversation. Fiat24 is really trying to change the way fiat and crypto integration systems work. And that is what is more exciting. They have super exciting partnerships coming along with MasterCard and with Visa. They are truly trying to adhere to the premise that DeFi is for the unbanked and helping them get banked, so to say. So a very interesting conversation. I can't wait for you guys to hear this. Let's deep dive right in. Hi, Karen. Thank you so much for making out the time to speak to me today. How are you doing?
Thanks for inviting me. Yes, I'm doing really well, thanks. It's really nice to be here.
Likewise, I'm so glad that we could make the time, both of us, and talk about your journey. And so let's get started right from there. Can you tell us a little about your journey into Web3 and the crypto space, and what kind of inspired you to get involved in this industry?
Yeah, sure. So actually, my background is really in advertising in the Web2 sector. So I spent the first years out of college working at different advertising agencies, and I worked on campaigns for like supermarkets and banks and fashion brands. But I eventually got more interested in social media as a tool for storytelling, and I got more into digital marketing, which I studied. And as I started to look for a new position, I saw that Fiat24 was hiring their first marketing manager. And as soon as I started reading about DeFi and blockchain, I just got hooked immediately. I'm sure I'll have a chance later to elaborate more on like what excites me about it. But yeah, I mean, I got offered this position and now it's 2 years later and I'm still here leading all of the marketing and branding activities. But in general, I really believe in DeFi and all of the power and possibility that it has to really serve the unbanked or underbanked people around the world.
Right. So yeah, absolutely. I think people who get into Web3, usually this is one of the many reasons why they kind of stay, because you're able to, explore the possibility of really backing the unbanked and really look at the traditional financial system and pit it against this new system that is being created, which, if, in my opinion, it only adds to the traditional system and makes it better.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think DeFi has already made some really big strides. But I think the evolution is just kind of at the beginning. But yeah, I think it's quite exciting to see all this innovation. Like we're seeing the development of more sophisticated financial products and things that just kind of work well and better than what traditional finance can offer, I think.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. I think this does give an added advantage. As I said, I think it just makes the traditional system a little better. So now, like taking a step back, I would love to know, a little more about what Fiat24 does, and also what excites you about this space. And apart from perhaps the conventional reasons that you are helping bank the unbanked, is there something else entirely which is very personal to you that really keeps you on your toes about the space?
Well, okay, I think when I look at Web3, in general and not just like the niche aspect of DeFi. I think Web3 has the potential, if it's possible, that we could make it a reality, which I'm not sure it can. But I think it's very cool because, I mean, personally, I've always been quite against these corporations like Google, for example, or Amazon. I think that they are quite scary. Like if you stop and think about how much of your privacy and your data that you give them in exchange for these services that they've built for us, which are so convenient, like Gmail or Google Drive or Google Maps. But, if you think about how much power they have, is quite scary. So for me, like the main driver is also Web3 at large.
Right.
And yeah.
No, I completely agree. What you're saying, that these larger corporations have too much power, at least in this day and age, and that needs to be perhaps brought down a notch. And there's nothing, I don't have anything against these corporations. I just feel that people should at least be aware that a lot of what they're doing and their decision making is being influenced by these larger corporations, and your data is perhaps being utilized in XYZ ways.
Yeah, for sure. Maybe I can also touch on what you asked about what we are doing at Fiat24.
Yes.
So I think I could explain it best in a three kind of layered approach. So first of all, we are a Swiss regulated financial institution. So we are governed by the Swiss banking law. And from a technical perspective, we are the only licensed fintech bank that has fully replaced servers with a public blockchain, which we use to book all of our client ledgers. So we're using Arbitrum, which is Ethereum's layer 2, to run our core banking system. And finally, what it means for you as the user is that you get access to a global payment dApp, and we transform your favorite non-custodial crypto wallet into an e-banking portal so that you can use, for example, your MetaMask directly to convert your crypto assets into fiat money and then spend using our Visa debit card. So our goal is to make a very DeFi and Web3 friendly way to spend your crypto. So that's kind of in a nutshell what we do.
Okay, that's wonderful. So basically, you're making it easier for people to be able to spend their crypto in real time. Is that correct?
Yeah, because currently, your non-custodial crypto wallet is good for storing your tokens and your NFTs, but
Hmm.
to do off-ramping and, putting your assets to good use in that way is very, very complex and costly if you think about what it would take for you to cash out from your MetaMask, for example. So we really simplify that process for you so that you can go inside your MetaMask, access Fiat24 and just like do everything inside your MetaMask.
Well, that is user friendly as well. That the entire user experience would be far easier than perhaps going ahead and starting to learn how an app works from scratch.
Yeah. Mhm.
That's wonderful. So, can you tell me a little bit more about perhaps the core mission, behind Fiat24, because you are the CMO. You can tell us a little about the mission and, just the kind of USP that it brings in this crypto fiat integration space.
Yeah, well, I think if you have been in DeFi for a while, you've probably experienced that crypto to fiat conversion has always been an issue, and especially in recent years, like centralized crypto exchanges such as Coinbase. I mean, they have been gradually improving the process, but it's not really giving a perfect solution for the DeFi world. So our goal is really to create something for the people who don't feel comfortable storing their assets in centralized exchanges, people that prefer to have more control and ownership of their private keys. And so, I mean, our target is really for these crypto and DeFi natives who have been in the game for a while and who really want to put their crypto to good use, I would say. So we're trying to meet this kind of gap in the market.
Right. So what about the people who seem to think that they want to perhaps utilize crypto as in more as an investment rather than a medium of exchange? Like, what is your perspective there? Because there are a bunch of people who believe that crypto should remain perhaps as an investment asset class.
Yeah, that's very interesting, actually. And I was just reading an article in the last couple of days, which points out that, in developing economies like India, Nigeria, and Vietnam, those are the economies that populate, much of the crypto adoption index. And I think if you look at the higher income people, they tend to view crypto as an investment to grow wealth. But the lower income demographics, or people in Latin America, for example, where their currency is really volatile and they have problems to even hold or store or use even USD, then those
Right.
people, use crypto for payments, to send money internationally and as a hedge against inflation. And I think actually this is kind of what the power of cryptocurrency and the beauty of maybe why it was created in the first place. I mean, of course, people can hold it if you live in, for example, Switzerland, where we have a very stable currency. It's normal that, we are quite well served and we don't have that need. But actually, I think cryptocurrency has this opportunity and power to revolutionize, in developing countries, economies. So to offer a lifeline to people with unstable governments and mitigating inflation risks and enabling them to do these seamless cross-border money transfers.
Yes, absolutely. I think crypto does have the power. Like when we talk about banking the unbanked, we actually mean folks who perhaps are struggling with their currency, not just folks who do not have like bank accounts, but also folks who are perhaps struggling with their existing currency. And crypto gives them a different path, an option at the very least, which
Yeah.
they can perhaps explore.
Yeah, it
So
is quite important. Yeah.
absolutely. In this day and age, I think it is one of the more important things, considering the geopolitical situation that we all find ourselves in.
Oh
This
no,
this becomes very imperative.
yeah,
Yes,
actually, I've seen that we've all experienced too that now it's also quite common in many European Union countries like Germany and Spain and Italy. They're also experiencing a lot of inflation. So
right.
in a way, it's good for crypto because this inflation maybe makes people question the value of fiat money and start to be curious about alternatives. So I would say maybe it used to be more developing countries. Now, even in Europe, we see there's the cost of living crisis and inflation problems also here.
Right. Right. Yeah, I think this is not like crypto doesn't just solve problems for weaker economies, but also economies that are perhaps going through a certain change. And they're in the process. So I do truly believe that, and I completely concur with you. Now, coming back to your platform, can you, because there are other platforms that do allow crypto to fiat sort of transactions. Can you tell us a little about the jurisdictions that you serve in? That is one. And two, can you also tell us a little about the USP? If somebody is if a user signs up on your platform, what is the one unique selling proposition that you would have for him?
Yeah, so maybe I will start with the second part first. Actually, if you are a new client, you first need to mint our Fiat24 NFT, which is something that is quite a big USP because we are recreating e-banking on the blockchain, which means in a Web3 way, which means that we are also replacing the traditional password and login kind of email address access with an NFT. And the NFT serves to identify all of the clients in our ecosystem. It just gives you your account number, and it holds all of the metadata associated with your account. So that is something that is quite unique about it. And your second question was, what was the other part of this question?
Sure. So the other part of the question primarily was, we wanted you to talk and touch upon a little about the USP, and we wanted to understand from you, what is your perhaps perspective around the traditional financial systems and how you feel. Perhaps you can give some specific examples as to how DeFi is revolutionizing finance.
Yeah, okay. Well, in terms of how DeFi is already and has the potential to revolutionize finance, I would say, as I already mentioned, like there's the opportunities of being more financially inclusive around the world. And actually, it's quite cool to see that many central banks around the world are exploring the concept of central bank digital currencies, or CBDCs, which is something quite cool.
Right. Yeah.
And yeah, no, I mean, in general, how I see it happening is we've seen like a lot of regulatory interest, like from a lot of different countries around the world. In Europe, you have the MiCA framework, and the US are cracking down hard, as we know, even like in different DeFi protocols. But somehow this kind of the world of TradFi cannot ignore this anymore. And for the people that are using, for example, stable coins like USDC, like we are feeling like the impact of how much more convenient it is to use them instead of just, if you have to do an international transfer through your bank, you have to wait several days, you have to pay something. It's not convenient. If I want to send you at this moment from Switzerland to India some crypto, you will get it instantly. When you just look at the most basic functionalities, it's not hard to see what the advantages are.
Yeah. Can you tell us a little about the jurisdictions that you're serving in?
Oh, yeah, sure. So for now, to mint our NFT, of course, that can be done by anyone around the world. And to access some of our DApp services, it's open to actually quite a wide variety of countries around the world, which can all be seen on our website. And the Visa debit card can currently just be used in the EU and Switzerland, but this summer we will also announce our MasterCard partnership, which will allow us to serve many more regions in the world, including Canada, Latin America, and some parts of Asia, which is really exciting.
Wow. Yeah, that is super exciting. So that kind of takes care of one of my next questions, that what is the one bigger milestone that you're looking forward to? I'm sure that this is the milestone that you're looking forward to as the CMO of Fiat24.
Yes, because since we launched our card last summer, we have gotten a lot of attention and a lot of interest. And for now, we have only been able to serve the EU. And we also have some great partnerships with some wallets, which are more Southeast Asia focused, such as Halo Wallet and SafePal. And we would really love to be able to serve those users. So of course, it's going to be a game changer because we can really become a much more global payment app.
Right. This is wonderful. So can you walk us through perhaps and give us a bit of like an overview of how the payment app of Fiat24 works and how it kind of transforms crypto wallets into e-banking platforms. So
Yeah,
I would
sure.
love to get like an overview.
Yeah, so basically, users can access all of our services by minting our NFT, which you can get on our website. So you can choose the account number that you prefer, or just, get whichever one you like. And let's say you open your MetaMask, there's a browser. You go to our website inside the browser in your MetaMask, and you have to connect your wallet, mint the NFT, and pass just a few simple steps of KYC, which we have to do because we are a regulated financial institution. And after you have passed the KYC, it looks like your traditional e-banking kind of portal that you would get from any bank. And that includes that you get a Swiss IBAN account in your name. You can top it up using both fiat money and the crypto that you have in the associated wallet. And you can do peer-to-peer payments, you can do Forex, you can top up your Visa debit card, which is only digital, so it's inside your Apple Pay or Google Pay. So that's kind of, it is quite a simple process, and we also purposefully try to keep it short and simple.
Right. Pretty straightforward then, the entire process end to end, and it just makes the entire experience of perhaps spending your crypto so much more easier and seamless.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I would love to talk a little bit more about the integration with Visa on Arbitrum, because that sounds really exciting. Can you explain that a little bit, elaborate on it, and how it kind of benefits users as well as your platform?
Yeah, so, we chose to build on Arbitrum already when we first started building Fiat24, which was back in 2021. And, of course, we wanted to go with an approach or a layer that would support a payment DApp, in the sense that if you do transactions on layer 1, the gas fees are incredibly high. So we decided to go with Arbitrum, which we believed already, since now it's already like, I guess, a couple or 2 or 3 years, that we have believed that it was going to be a successful and stable ecosystem. And as you know, over the past, maybe since November of last year, Arbitrum has grown massively and become a lot more popular.